Today, I'm going to go over every game that I have finished this year. I managed to beat some fun games on my backlog, and I just wanted an excuse to talk about them. I will only be going over games where I have hit the credits and fully finished them. I have a bad habit of starting all of my games and never actually beating them, so this helps to make my list a bit more manageable. Stay tuned to the end to hear about my new plan to conquer my massive backlog. Dispatch was a game I've been hearing about when its episodes were initially released. I watched a good chunk of Corey X Kenshin's playthrough and then finally decided to get this game for myself. I became obsessed with this game immediately. I loved the story and the gameplay was really addictive. I really wish they would make an endless dispatch mode. This is one of the very few games where I didn't just beat it, I 100%ed the game. I used my first save for my initial playthrough, my next save to force my cousin to play it while we did it over Discord call, and so I could force him to talk about it. And the third save was to do everything I hadn't done yet, so I got all of the achievements on Steam. Genuinely, this game took over my life for a bit. It was all I could think about. As much as I love and adore this game, I still had some issues, mainly one specific issue, and that was Invisigal. Try as I might, I just do not like her. I get that she might be a complex character, but it just didn't click for me, and the game having such a large focus on her compared to every other character on the Z team just made me dislike her even more. Discovering that the game's initial plan only really included her and Blonde Blazer makes a lot more sense, but one of the main reasons I fell in love with this game was because of the entire Z team. The writing, combined with the amazing voice actors they cast, just make this game so fun. I went to the Game Developers Conference a bit after beating this, and I used it as one of my main conversation starters when I was trying to network. I loved bringing it up, because everyone knew about it since it was so recent and it got so popular. I did mess up when I was talking with someone about the game, only to realize that one of the devs was sitting nearby. Please forgive me, whoever you were. Everything I say about this game comes from the heart. I love it and desperately need a season 2. This is genuinely going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Anyways, this game gets ranked in the top spot to start out. Even with my issues, I still adored it. I really hope we get more content and maybe some flambirds. That would be cool. Moving on. I'm gonna take you on a bit of a journey for this next one. I bought Resident Evil 4 Remake a bit after it came out because there was a slightly cheaper used copy at a GameStop. I'd been wanting the game since it released, so I used the slightly lower price as an excuse to buy it. I made the mistake of trying to play it on normal difficulty, got my ass kicked on stream, and then I didn't touch the game again for a while. This led me to a journey that I unfortunately have with a lot of games where I would play it in bursts over a long period of time. By March of this year, I finally did it. I beat the game. I had a lot of fun with this one. I really enjoy the Resident Evil games and was happy to beat my next one. Before this, I've only finished RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, and RE7. All of the other games I've either played a good chunk of and just never finished, or I just don't own them so I haven't played them yet. The story for RE4 Remake was really fun. Like many people, I enjoy Leon, but Carlos is still my favorite character. God, I miss him. I want to buy the Separate Ways DLC at some point and play through that because I'm a really big fan of Ada as well. Overall, it was just a great experience. I still want to finish my playthrough of the original RE4 on my PS2. I got like halfway through it, I think, and I enjoy getting to see the cheesy cutscenes they didn't keep in the remake. Highly recommend this game, and I will be putting it at the top above Dispatch. If you have any interest in the Resident Evil series, check out my guide. It covers every game and all of the spin-off content. Perfect for new and old fans. Let's move on to the next game. Unpacking was a game I got from a friend. He gets the Humble Bundle every month and doesn't always want every game. I'm greedy, so I take a lot of the stuff he doesn't want. I played through all of Unpacking in like a single day. I loved it, but this also brings up my singular issue with it. It's too short. Like, the story it tells is perfect, but the gameplay is so fun, and I loved decorating and organizing. I don't think they're gonna make another game like this, but I kind of wish they would. If anyone knows more games like this, please tell me. I had way too much fun with it. I got a little more in depth into it into my review on my other channel, so I won't say much more on it, but go check out that video if you want to hear me talk a bit more about this game. Just because it was a little too short, I'm gonna rank it here, but I really loved the game. Fatal Frame was a series I had been eyeing for a while. I had been watching a lot of YouTube videos on like old PS2 horror games, and I was like, I really want to try Fatal Frame. It looks cool. So when the remake of 2 was about to come out, I took advantage and I used it as an excuse to start playing through all of the different games to make a guide on it. The first game was too hard, so I gave up pretty early on. The third game, I actually got really close to the end, but there's this one character's gameplay. It's stupidly difficult and annoying to deal with, and after I got like chased through an entire level, I got pissed off and I rage quit the game and deleted it. Fatal Frame 2 was the only one of the main trilogy I was able to play through to the end. I never actually played the next few games after this because I kind of want physical copies because they're slightly cheaper than the trilogy, and I'd rather get a physical copy than pay the same price for digital version on Steam, especially since I think they're meant to be played on different consoles with like the Wii remotes and stuff. Back to Fatal Frame 2. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think I would replay it even though it has different endings. I had to emulate it, so I would probably only replay the original version if I ever got like a decent deal on the physical copy that's not like $1 billion. I did play the demo of the remake, which I really enjoyed. I do want to get that still at some point. I just have to buy the game, and unfortunately, like every great game is releasing right now, so it's hard to prioritize which games I want to pre-order versus which ones that are already out that I want to buy. It's a great time to be a gamer and a hard time to be broke. Fatal Frame 2 Remake is still pretty high up on my list though. Overall, really enjoyed it. Highly recommend checking out my Fatal Frame guide too if you want to try out the series yourself. I'll be ranking the game here since I loved it, but wouldn't replay it. Lego Batman is a game I am extremely biased about because this is one of my first ever video games that I played when I was a kid. I literally learned to improve my reading skills just so I could read through the guide and play through more of the game. I also used to play this with my mom, and since I started working on the Batman games guide because of the new Lego Batman that released, we ended up booting up this game again just for fun. We ended up not only finishing every level, but we ended up 100%ing all of the hero levels and like a good majority of the villain levels before we decided to stop. I had so much fun with this replay. I forgot how much I loved this game. It's so silly and it's just such a fun Batman game. It was one of the early Lego games, so they didn't really talk as much, so they do all of these like silly things with like pantomimes and just like expression and silly stuff, and I can't handle Lego games where they talk. Like I can play through them, but it weirds me out because I just played Lego Batman so much. This was also probably my introduction to Batman as a kid. I think I probably played this game before my dad showed me the like Tim Burton Batman movies. So this was my introduction to all of his major villains and who Batman was, and probably got me into DC when I was a kid. Honestly, I could go on and on and on about how much I love this game all day. So I'm gonna stop here before I just ramble on about how much I love it for like an hour. This, of course, has to go to the top. One of my favorite games of all time. I plan on getting the newest Lego Batman at some point and playing through it. It just looks so fun and I need it so bad. Arkham was a series I decided to get into because I got really into Red Hood. I knew he was in Arkham Knight, but I knew it was like a linear trilogy and I wanted to make sure I played through the first 2 games before I booted up Arkham Knight. I finally beat Arkham City this year. I had started, I think, about a year ago, but like what happens with a lot of games, I got distracted and didn't pick it up again until I was working on the Batman guide. I booted up my old save and finally beat the game. I was actually a lot closer to the end than I realized. I loved this game and I really enjoyed playing it. The story kept me engaged. Hugo Strange was not a villain I knew a lot about before playing this, so it was really cool to see his story and what he did. The surprise final boss was awesome. I do like that villain a lot. The ending genuinely shocked me. I won't spoil it if you haven't played it, but if you've played through it, you know what happens. I actually never thought I would see that happen, ever. That's just not a character I expected would have that kind of end. This seems like the type they keep around forever. It was also made all the more real when I booted up and started Arkham Knight. It really just solidified what had happened. Arkham City also has super fun combat, open world to explore, and even more entertaining dialogue from all the goons. I liked just sitting and eavesdropping on what they had to say. I highly recommend the Arkham games to any fan of Batman. I'm so glad I finally got around to playing through these, and I can't wait to finish my playthrough of Arkham Knight. I'm having so much fun with that game. I ranked this one near the top just because I had such a good time. 9 Rip was a very fun Tome game. It had 9 awesome routes, and I really like these supernatural concepts that they had. This is another game I've already done a full review for on my other channel, so I won't be talking too much about it here. Minami was my favorite route, and I had a great time with this game. I do wish some of their haircuts were better. Who are their barbers? Another game that I will be putting up near the top. It's probably obvious at this point, but I am very easily entertained by most games. It is going to be a lot more rare for me to to hate on a game and put it near the bottom than it is for me to find any reason to enjoy it and just immediately put it like near the top. Maybe I'm just easy to please, but I love video games. I am a long time Undertale and Deltarune fan. I have been playing every chapter of Deltarune like as soon as they came out. So you bet I played this one as it released. I did not want spoilers. I spent 8 hours straight playing through this chapter, and I only stopped on day 1 because Flowery was kicking my ass and I needed that update the next day to help me beat the boss. As much as I love it, I've never gotten good at this game. I loved the new mechanic that this chapter added. The platforming was very fun. Normally I struggle a lot with platformers, but I had a friend who held me at gunpoint to play through all of Celeste, and I honestly think that helped me improve my platforming skills, so I actually managed to get through the chapter without as much difficulty. Comedy was so on point. I had so much fun with our last fun chapter. I enjoyed all the characters. I'm so depressed that this is gonna be the only chapter we have them for, that we can't take them with us to Castletown and see them again in the next 2 chapters. Orange was probably my favorite flower, but I did love all of them. I really don't understand why some people were talking like this was like filler. First off, like longest chapter I think we've had so far. I don't think any of the other chapters have this long a runtime, and the lore drops with Asgore I thought added quite a bit. I get maybe that some people already theorized about it, but this was like canon confirmation of different stuff. I didn't understand the people who were complaining about it. I loved this chapter, and I'm so hyped for the next 2 chapters, but oh my god, if this genuinely is the last fun one and it's just gonna get like serious and depressing from here on out, I'm terrified. It will be great, but I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm gonna be sad when this game's over because I love it so much. I didn't play through the weird routes, but I did watch the footage for this chapter. It was insane, even though it was only like 15 minutes. I don't even know. There's a reason you're still seeing fan art and people talking about it. Don't know where I expected the weird route to go, but it was not in this direction, and I'm really excited to see what they do next. I'm assuming as well that it's gonna be a bit like the genocide route in Undertale, because I think already if you like beat it all the way up through that point, and I'm not sure if the aborted version of the route affects it this much too, but I think I've heard it will permanently alter all of your save files, not just the one you're doing the weird route on. I don't want to screw over my good routes. I'm terrified it's gonna be one of those things where it will ruin your good ending because it knows you did that. I did try to do some of weird route, but I couldn't beat Spammed in Neo anyway, so maybe I'm hoping if I just delete the save, I will be okay and I can just play through the game in case it does ruin or mess up a good ending. This is definitely one of my top games of the year so far. I love it. It's such a good game. Can't wait for chapter 6. Hopefully it's tomorrow. Final game that I have beaten so far this year is Lover Pretend. I also did a full review on this game on the other channel, so I won't be going as in-depth on my opinions here. I will say that this is one of those few games I didn't really like. I had one route that I enjoyed and the others were okay, or I just didn't like their characters. They kind of pissed me off. The final secret route was really upsetting for massive spoiler reasons. It's made even worse for those of you who don't play Otome dating sim type games. Normally a secret route, you have to play through everyone else's route to get there. And since I had to beat like the entire game just to get to him, it made all the more worse on the fact that I just hated it. It's big spoilers. I do go very in-depth into it in my review. There's like a full spoiler warning if you want to hear why I have so many issues with it, because oh my god, why did they do that? But yeah, I would have ranked the game at least in like the middle, and I just said it was like straight up just mid-game, had fun, don't highly recommend it, but not bad. But the final route just really killed it for me. So this is my least favorite game so far of the year. We've really gone from top to bottom in these games. But yeah, not a big fan of Lover Pretend. But hey, 100%ed it. I'm done with it. I'm probably never picking that up again. So what's next for the rest of this year? I had a fun idea to try and help me conquer my very massive backlog. I made a doc with a list of every game in my collection that I have not beaten. It's like 11 pages of just games that I've listed. I might have a problem. This list also got a bit bigger recently because I joined a Steam family with my friends and I now have access to their games as well. So I took all of these games, I put it on a wheel, and my goal is to beat whatever game it lands on. My main goal is to try and beat at least one game a month, so I'll make a new video updating how it's going in probably around December. So let's spin the wheel and see what I will be playing this month to start out. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you want more game rankings like this. I've been watching a lot of backlog videos recently and wanted to try and make one of my own. I'm hoping that doing stuff like this for videos will help me get through my massive collection. Like and subscribe to see more fun videos. Your support means a lot. I'm currently working on the final part of the Batman Games Guide, so do expect to see that soon. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!